AI looks cheaper on the surface, but underneath, it is getting more expensive. So here's the question. What if the next AI race is not about the smartest model, but about who can still afford the infrastructure behind it? Because as demand rises, AI needs more compute, more servers, more power, and more capital. And that could change who actually wins this industry. That matters because the spending behind AI is becoming enormous. Analysts are already talking about global data center investment reaching into the trillions by the end of the decade. And AI is one of the main reasons. At the same time, Nvidia has been moving closer to CoreWeave. CoreWeave matters because it helps provide the infrastructure other AI firms use to train, run, and scale their systems. So this is not just one company investing in another. It is a signal. AI may be shifting away from flashy demos and toward the load-bearing layer underneath. Compute, capacity, power, and deployment. If the real battle is moving into infrastructure, how expensive does this race become? And this is where the real conflict starts. AI demand is rising so fast that companies are building before the economics are fully clear. If they wait, they risk falling behind. If they spend too hard, they risk crushing their margins. So the industry is trapped between two fears. The fear of missing the boom and the fear of paying too much to stay in it. That is what makes this moment unstable. Because the more companies build, the more they depend on capital, utilization, and future demand all holding together. And that means this is no longer just a software story. It is becoming a financing story and eventually an endurance story. The reason is simple. AI is leaving the world of demos and entering the world of deployment. And deployment changes the economics. A demo only needs to impress people once. But a deployed AI system has to work every day under real traffic, real latency, real reliability standards, and real cost. So the industry is no longer paying only to invent intelligence. It is paying to deliver it, maintain it, and scale it. That is much heavier. It means more chips, more servers, more cooling, more electricity, and more capital locked in before the business fully proves itself. If AI is turning into a real industrial system, does the smartest model still matter most? And once that happens, the industry structure starts to change. Because if deployment becomes the bottleneck, then power moves. It moves away from the companies that only capture attention and toward the companies that control capacity. That gives more power to chip suppliers, cloud infrastructure providers, data center operators, and anyone who can keep compute online at scale. This is why companies like Nvidia sit in such a strong position. They're not just participating in the boom, they are helping define the terms of the boom. People still assume the winners will simply be the companies with the best models. But if the real bottleneck is infrastructure, the winners may increasingly be the companies controlling the physical backbone underneath those models. And if that trend continues, AI could start looking less like a software boom and more like an infrastructure arms race. It will require more capital, more power, and more physical capacity. And that creates separation. The companies that can finance the build-out keep moving. The companies that cannot start falling behind. So future AI competition may not be decided only by talent or research quality. It may also be decided by access to financing, access to energy, access to data centers, and the ability to survive long enough for the economics to make sense. So the next race is not just about who can innovate faster. It is about who can endure longer. So the real cost of the AI boom is not just that more money is being spent. It is that AI is becoming a heavier industry than many people expected, more physical, more capital intensive, and more dependent on infrastructure staying available. And that changes what winning means. Because in the next phase of AI, the companies that shape the future may not simply be the smartest. They may be the ones that can actually keep the lights on.